Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight on ABC 10 News at 11. I'm Max Goldwasser. A local nonprofit learning how to adjust to rapid reductions in federal funding. Jewish Family Services say they will be pausing their migrant shelter services until further notice. Just weeks ago, President Trump signed an executive order that would freeze federal funding for immigration services in sanctuary cities like San Diego. That order was blocked, but there are still questions about that funding and where it goes moving forward. ABC 10 News reporter Danny Miskell joins us in studio for more on what the future looks like for JFS.
Jewish Family Services may be pausing their migrant shelter services for now, but that doesn't mean their work stops. The nonprofit says it's now shifting its focus onto pro bono immigration legal services because with all the rapid changes to immigration policies in the last month, they're now seeing a huge demand for it.
We've been planning for the new administration, and we've run through a variety of scenarios. A complete freeze on funding, frankly, was not one of the scenarios that we anticipated.
This was from a few weeks ago. We spoke with the CEO of Jewish Family Services, Michael Hopkins, when the news broke that the Trump administration was freezing federal dollars towards migrant services. While that executive order is tied up in the courts, the nonprofit is still moving forward.
As an organization, I think that we have a pretty strong muscle to handle these situations.
That's why Jewish Family Services says they're now bolstering their staff and volunteers to offer legal services to as many different groups of migrants as possible: unaccompanied minors, dreamers, migrants who are about to be deported, and more.
And so right now we're trying to best meet the folks that have arrived within the last 2-3 months that are here in San Diego, and we're gonna continue to try to meet their needs.
This comes as Jewish Family Services is pausing its migrant shelter services, where they've been helping hundreds of thousands of migrants with temporary shelter, food, travel, and more. But when the CBP One app went dark last month, families and individuals stopped coming to their migrant shelter. The shelter's pause is also causing many to lose their jobs.
There is no federal funding at all. That's come to a complete standstill.
Money is tight right now, which is why Immigration Legal Services will have to be pro bono. The nonprofit says they were allocated $22 million federal dollars last September, and they still haven't seen a dime.
We emailed the White House Sunday night asking what's going to happen to that allocation of $22 million. But we are still waiting to hear back. In studio, I'm Danny Miskell, ABC 10 News.